All right. Good evening, everyone. Hope you all are staying home. Hope you all are staying safe. Today there's a nice and awesome weather outside. It's raining. I guess finally summers are over and monsoons are starting. So stay safe, all of you. Coming to today's live. Today we have a very interesting personality with us. The topic that we are going to discuss today is to one of the most searched, discussed topic on the internet as well as offline: fitness and nutrition. And we have Gajendra Rajpurohit, who's a fitness coach, who's the only gold certified trainer from Strydom Academy in India, who's a performance nutritionist and athlete physique coach. He continuously keeps on learning more, has done a lot of certifications, has done a lot of courses related to fitness and nutrition. So let's welcome. Hello.
Hi, Doc. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing? How's the
I'm good
weather
to
on your
go.
side?
The weather is amazing, but the lights are out.
Oh,
So
it's okay,
it's
but we can see you, so that's good enough, I guess.
definitely, trust me, I have like 15 candles around me, so you guys can see me.
Wow. All right. Before getting into today's topic, let's
Hmm.
just discuss a bit about your fitness journey. Tell us, our viewers, like how it started and what all courses you've done and how your learning process has been.
Sure, Saurabh. So first of all, I like to thank you, Dr. Saurabh. I have known him since the last 6 months, and this is how we started talking, and I came in contact with Healyos. And a couple of days back, Saurabh called me and like, would you like to talk about fitness and nutrition on the page? So we really had an interesting conversation because there's a bridge between the physios and the doctor. And I feel a certified coach, a well knowledgeable coach, can help lessen the bridge and help take over a lot of issues and which probably physios at that level and doctors at that level would not be able to address on a day-to-day basis. So yeah, thank you, Saurabh. And getting back to your question, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Please
So
go ahead.
my fitness journey has been very accidental, Saurabh. So probably after a couple of years down the line, even if someone would like to make a movie on it, I'm sure it would be a very interesting
Huh.
one. So till the age of 31, okay, I was lost. I did not know what I was doing in my life. I was just following the mundane routine like everyone does. Do your bachelor's in business administration. Probably my friend is doing a microbiology. So I just opted for doing microbiology, quit in between. And I'm born and raised in Pune, but basically a Marwadi. So you know how
Right.
with Marwadis it is. They don't ask you to continue education. They're like plus minus सीख गया अभी धंधे पे लग जा. So
True.
there's the kind of background I have, and it's all business oriented. So yes, it was a roller coaster ride. And when I was 31, that's when I realized that I'm good in motivating people. Uh,
Right.
I make them realize their potential. And a lot of people ask me, why don't you become a coach? Why don't you get certified? So that's how the journey began. And I was very fortunate and lucky enough that my very first teacher was a world champion. So a lot of people might
Right.
not know him because these are the people from old school era, old school
Right.
bodybuilding. So his name is Gary Strydom, and due to one of the clients, I got the chance to travel abroad and learn under him. And for the 2015 and 2016, these 2 years, I trained and coached under him. So he taught me an approach towards fitness, which is what you do not see nowadays. It was more
Right.
holistic and it was more lifestyle oriented. So
Right.
after that, and after training under him for 2 years, and I never realized that I'm doing a certification under him because after 2 years, he suddenly came up to me and he's like, okay, you know what? You have done possibly everything that I know of, okay, and here you go. So I was overwhelmed because probably that was my first certification in terms
Right.
of from a world champion. So it's like this is being held by only you in India, okay, and it
Right.
is a
Wow.
priceless thing. You cannot buy this thing. So that's how my
Right.
journey began, and then I continued because I believed no matter how far you go, no matter how much you study, you're always a student. So I kept
Right. That is
studying
true.
and studying and studying and researching in this topic, and it got me more interested. So then I did my NSM, certified personal trainer. Then I did my nutrition course. So there's nothing on in fitness industry that I leave any stones unturned. So that's it's all been about. So that's how the
And
journey
that's
has
the
been.
reason why when we wanted to do a live or a session on fitness and nutrition simplified, you were the first person that came into my mind because whatever various conversations we have had, we've always had a very simple approach to fitness. We've always explained nutrition in a very simpler and very achievable terms. So
Yes.
before we go forward, would you like to explain what exactly fitness means? What exactly is fitness?
So I always give this example to people. For people, fitness is different. For someone, Salman Khan is fit. For some people, Akshay
Right,
Kumar is fit. So I always tell people, fitness is what Akshay Kumar is.
right,
Fitness is not what Salman is. That's probably one dimension of fitness, whether you have
true,
muscular body and but if you see at Akshay Kumar, he is able to do his day-to-day activities with ease. If you ask him to
true,
climb probably 100 floors, you can do. Now, let's not imagine you probably are Akshay Kumar, but in simpler terms, and let's not overcomplicate things. Fitness is something that you should be able to do your day-to-day activity with ease, whether you are a kid or whether you are an adult or whether you are a senior citizen. So that's what
right.
fitness is. Fitness is not lifting 50 kg weight. Fitness is being able to lift your DMart groceries with ease without crying. Fitness is what mothers do, toddlers in their hand and other stuff in their hand without getting tired. And that's what fitness is.
So basically, fitness is being functional and doing your day-to-day activities better. That's what
Exact,
fitness should be.
exact. Also, while I'm talking, guys, I would also like to tell you that Saurabh himself is a certified coach. Physiotherapy is what something happened to him later. So it's always interesting to talk to someone who comes from that background and who understands the basics of.
We are not. Uh, are you able to hear me? No, you're not audible. What I'm going to do is I'm going to disconnect. You just send me the request again to be in the video. I guess there's some. So there was some technical glitch. We're going to add him again.
Yeah, so
Okay.
what I was
Yeah.
telling people that Saurabh himself is a student of is a coach, and physiotherapy is what happened to him later. So we definitely know what we are talking about. But yes, he's definitely way more qualified because he's done his physiotherapist, and he's probably 5 years more certified than me and intensively. But yes, let's make sure
Okay.
that
But
whatever we
today
speak today,
it's about
yeah.
what knowledge you have to share. Okay.
So sure.
So coming to the topic, simplified fitness and nutrition. So
Mhm.
what are the basic rules of fitness? Like what is the easiest way of achieving every whatever fitness goal people have?
So, Saurabh, you have noticed one thing, and everyone who is online right now has definitely noticed that every year since probably I have started learning and started understanding language, every year I see people posting fitness resolutions. Every year in the month of
True,
Jan, they are like, I'll be fit, I'll get six packs, I'll do this, I'll do that, I want a beach body, I want to look like a model. Everyone has different goals. But why
true,
everyone has failed year down year? Why everyone has failed? Has everyone anyone thought about this? It's because you set unrealistic goals. You are
true, true.
falling, you're trying to become what you are not. You're trying to compare yourself to something that you're not, and you're not putting goals which are easier to achieve. You want a six-pack body like Hrithik Roshan. You want muscular body
Right,
like Salman Khan, and you want it right
right,
away. You do not understand that there's years and years of training and years of practice that has been into this. But the way it's being advertised to us under the pretext of selling stuff or can be anything is what overwhelms us. And the lack of
true.
patience is what makes us set all these unrealistic goals. So first and foremost, you have to keep short-term goals. You have a
Right,
vision for sure that this is where you want to be, but you need to have short-term visions and celebrate every small step. So don't
right,
think about getting a six pack. It's It's humanly impossible to maintain that forever. Very rare people can maintain that six pack posture every day. You would not be able to enjoy your life if you continuously think about staying shredded, bulking. You should be able to enjoy your life. I've seen people getting over consumed by fitness. 2 hours in the gym, 3 hours in the gym, 3 hours cardio, 4 hours cardio, three activities a day. There's no life.
True.
All I see them is posting about fitness. But in the end, if you see, they are the same people who have never been fit, or they lose
True.
motivation down the line because they're trying to achieve drastic changes which do not
Right.
last.
So
So
talking
you need,
about like basic ground rules of fitness, one thing that you mentioned, which is very nicely put, is basically have short-term goals. Celebrate every single step
yes,
and what else.
yes, definitely. This is one of the steps. Second is do not compare yourself to others. See where you are,
Right.
okay? See what your limitations are, and accordingly set your goals. Just because your friend lifts 50 kg, you cannot go and lift 50 kg right away. Okay, you
Right.
see what
Right.
suits you. Also, you do not try to become what you are not. See what fits you. Let's say you are a businessman. Okay, you cannot train very heavy continuously, because if you do not have the right nutrition or you do not sleep better, you cannot function better, you cannot handle your business. So you have to
Right.
choose your
Right.
fitness goals wisely. Okay, so choose your goals wisely is one of the things I'll say. Also, do not follow anything with a name. I've always been telling people, okay, diets, anything with a name, do not follow it, because you would not be able to stick to it forever. Like out of 100
Right.
people, 90 of the people will fail. Let's say, for example, see, now let's come to the topic of okay, let's touch that topic later. When coming back to this, so it's setting short term goals, being realistic about your goals, and keeping making a goal for yourself which you are not making by comparing yourself to others. So these are the things which I say. And also, guys, having a personal trainer is not a necessity. Joining a hi-fi gym is not a necessity. Do not fall in the trap of, why people join big gyms. I have rarely come across a person who actually works out sincerely in a big full-fledged gym. They're there for the fancy stuff. They're there to just high-five each other. It's more of a club. It's more of a, I will say, a dance club. Okay, probably in the
Right.
daylight. People are socializing, they're not training. If you are serious,
Right.
you will be in the gym and out of the gym within 1 hour without
And
even
in the
saying hello
current
to anyone.
scenario, that we are in, I don't know how many months it's going to take for the gyms to start working and having a full-fledged setup to exercise. So I guess it's a good time to follow some calisthenic workouts, home workouts. So would you like to give a few tips about during this pandemic when there are no fitness centers available, how
It's a
people
very
can still stay fit at home?
It's a very good question, Saurabh, that you put, because past 2.5 months, people have been messaging me, and I've seen people posting n number of movements which they are doing. Let's say they're doing 100 burpees and 100 squats and 100 mountain climbers, and people who inherently are not even fit are trying to do these things out of desperation, or probably because they're putting on weight and they want to reach out and they want to do something. And most of the trainers, okay, most of the trainers in India, only very few of them actually realize that you need to see the posture, you need to see the postural imbalances if you have any, and then prescribe a movement to the people.
True.
You can't be a 100 kg guy and just suddenly start doing burpees and side jumps and planks without realizing whether you have a
Yeah,
weak
going to have
kinetic
a
chain.
negative effect of that.
Yeah. So I would say you choose one movement, get better at it, slow and steady, rather than tiring yourself out. And probably you would be able to do that movement for 1 day or 2 day, but in the long run, you might have pain which will become chronic, and people will turn to you. Okay, honestly, that's good for business, but bad for people. let's
Right.
let's be
Right.
honest about that.
True.
So people
True.
need to choose their workouts carefully. Okay, do your own
Hmm.
research. Okay, find what works for you. If you're heavy, walk. Okay, you
Right.
cannot lift weight, walk around in the house. So do household works, do gardening, clean the house, be active, keep moving
True.
every hour. Okay, if you are limited, not being able to go out, but in non-containment zone, like probably you today told me that Aund and Baner have been declared corona free, and I was like, oh my God, corona korega Pakistan. So yes,
Yeah.
if you are able to go out, why not? Walking is one of the most underrated activities that people do not ever utilize. Okay, so walking, Surya Namaskars, yoga. Okay,
Right.
now not everyone
Right.
has the flexibility to do it, so you modify it. You see what works for you. Do some activity. So walking, Surya Namaskars, breathing, meditation, household work. If you have a pet, walk the dog. So this is also fitness. And slowly and gradually you get fit into your resistance training. Ask for
Right.
guidance. There is no harm in asking for guidance from
True.
the right
True.
people. Reach out to people.
Right. And I would like to grab attention of people to a very nice and apt word you use for walking. Okay, walking is a very good activity. So you
Activity.
just treat that
So
as an activity. Yeah.
sort of
So
people think it's an exercise. It's not an
yes,
exercise, guys. You
yes, it's
cannot be
not.
doing 2 to 3 hours. It's an activity. It's
Yes,
good for your heart. Okay, you
yeah,
get a
it
clear
is.
head. You walk. You think clearly. So
True. Okay. Coming to the nutrition part. So it is said that whenever you want to achieve your fitness goal, it's 80% nutrition and 20% of exercise. What are your thoughts on that? What is good nutrition?
Saurabh, this is one of the statements I've been hearing since I started my journey in fitness. That 80% workout hota hai, nutrition hota hai, 20% ye hota hai. I will say everything that you do in your life, not just nutrition, is 100% of everything. It's 100% of your workouts. It's 100% of your
Very true.
eating habits. It's 100% of you. You never do half-hearted approach. You can't say मैं
True.
60% diet follow करता हूँ, मुझे result क्यों नहीं
Yeah.
मिलता है. हाँ,
True.
दिन भर मैं फॉलो करता हूँ, रात को मैं गोलगप्पे खाता हूँ, रात को मैं पिज्जा खाता हूँ. I'll come to that point where why most of the people fail when they follow a diet. Okay, so it's
Right. Right.
100% of everything. Whatever you do in your life, think there is no plan B.
Right. True.
There was a beautiful dialogue in one of the James Bond movie. He's like, "What's your plan B?" He's like, "There's no plan B." He's like, the moment you think there's a plan B, your efforts in your plan A would never be 100%. When you know it's a do and
Very
die situation, you will always give your best. That's how it
true.
should be.
Perfect. That's very nicely put. Now tell me something like counting, tracking your macronutrients and micronutrients. Is it like how much weightage should be given to that?
So a lot of people
Or
so
let's
what
let's take a step back and can you explain our viewers what are macro and micronutrients? Because we're going to talk
definitely.
about nutrition. Yeah.
So guys, macro is what you call protein, carbs, and fats, and the most debated one is alcohol. So let's keep that aside. But so yes, protein, carbs, and fat. So I'll explain you in this. This cannot go simpler than this. Protein, carbs, and fat. These are your three macros. The fourth one, as I mentioned, is alcohol. We are keeping it aside because it's still debated. And micro is where your vitamins and minerals, these all come into picture. So let's not touch the micros yet because yeah, that can be fulfilled by checking your lipid profile and seeing what you're lacking in, and probably include the food which have those micronutrients. And if not, then you can opt for a multivitamin. Never opt for a multivitamin right away because the absorption of synthetic multivitamins is lesser as compared to the absorption of natural food. So
True.
always opt for natural food. So coming back to macronutrient, protein, carbs, and fat. Now 1 gram of protein is 4 calories. One gram
Right.
of carb is 4 calories, and 1 gram of fat is 9 calories. So the next time, if
Right.
anyone says इसमें 20 gram protein है, just multiply it by 4. That's 80 calories. So you are
Right.
consuming 80 calories. Same way for carbs and fat, it feels more satiating. It's because it's dense. 1 gram of fat is 9 calories. So macros,
True.
guys, it's protein, carbs, and fat. Micro is your vitamins and minerals. So this is macros and micros. A lot of people speak this, and a lot of common people don't understand all this gibberish language. So in simpler terms, आपका protein, carb, and fat is your macro. Your minerals and vitamin is your micro.
Right. So how important is tracking them? Because I see a lot of people continuously keeping in their mind every single time they're eating something, they're counting their macros. So how important is that?
So I'll ask a simpler question to all my viewers. How important it is budgeting? How important it is for you to budget and pre-plan your expenses and your finances? Do you do that or you do that? All of us who do that are able to manage our monthly expenditures better as compared to not tracking them and not knowing ki while we watched a movie how much movie was money was spent, while we went
True.
on a walk how much was spent, when we went to a relative's place how much was spent. We just get a rough idea कि यार इतना यहाँ खर्च हो गया उतना वहाँ खर्च हो गया. It's the same way with nutrition. Okay, I'm not saying tracking is 100% important, but this is how you change your habits. You want to keep
Right.
yourself accountable, you start with tracking. Okay, now a lot of
Right.
people get tensed when start calculating. When they see numbers, they get tensed and anxiety. I do not want you to track it forever. First you get better at tracking that how much you are eating every day, so you know where you are and then you can increase or decrease depending upon your goals to where you want to be. Okay, and for
True.
people who get uh, anxiety and stress by looking at the scale and numbers, then you move on to portion sizes. Like your palm size is
Right.
your protein, your thumb size is your fat. So these kind of things, because that becomes easier. Because humanly, it's impossible to track the food wherever you go. Because we are social animals, we are out all the time, and we are hardly at home, apart from the corona thing.
That sounded like a very easy trick. What is this palm and thumb thing? I didn't know about this.
So the palm thing, if you see an Indian diet, okay, the
Hmm.
majority, the larger portion is carbs. Always. Okay.
Right, right,
Protein is probably this much, एक दाल की वाटी या पनीर के चार टुकड़े. Okay.
right,
Salad के नाम पे ककड़ी टमाटर. So this
right,
is how the Indian version is. Now, if you see a proper classic European or people who follow diet abroad, if you see the size, the portion of the protein is the size of the palm. It means, for
right,
example, the protein size is bigger than the carb size. So every meal they
right,
have, the protein size is bigger, the ratio is more than the carb size, than the salad. So your fat
right,
should be the size of your thumb or probably the size of your finger. This much,
right.
if you do not want to track, palm size is your protein, okay, and the fist size is your carbs.
Okay, okay.
Okay, again, a lot of people differ in this calculation, but this is a rough estimate. You do not have to be 100% following what I said, but yeah, this is a rough estimate of how you can begin, how you can do
Right.
these
So
things.
how a meal should be planned. This can be a very easy way to figure out how your meal should be planned.
Definitely. Now it will look very funny for you to carry your weighing scale everywhere and you go to a relative's place, like, अरे रुक रुक वजन काटा निकालने दे
Ah,
कितना ग्राम है वजन करना.
true.
So just go on the palm size and the fist size and the thumb size. As simple as that.
Right. Okay. How achievable and how possible it is to achieve your nutrition, a good nutrition with or without the supplement? What are your views on supplement?
You do not need supplements to get fit. Okay.
Right.
The supplement industry is a profit-making industry which was introduced to make money. It was not introduced because people are deficient in certain macros or micros. Okay.
Right.
It pushed us away from eating real food.
Right.
Okay. It's like, for example, you get a dog. Okay. Now the dog needs meat. Okay. You probably have to go and buy a meat, then cook it, then shred it, then give it to the dog. What people do, they just go and buy a pedigree. It's easier, it's comfortable,
Right.
saves your
Right.
time. Okay. So this is what happened when the supplement industry came into picture. We got so busy making a life that we forgot to eat real foods. So we just try to,
True.
whatever is easy, we do it. It's easier to eat a burger than cook your vegetables and eat. So we just pick that up.
True.
So it's
True.
not important to have supplements until and unless you are not able to get your daily require macros, which is your protein, carbs, and fats out of your daily food. Let's say you're traveling, you cannot eat, you're carrying a supplement, fine. But you should have minimal dependence on protein. You do not need supplements to make a body, you do not need supplements to lose fat. The best example of this would be Rustame Hind, Mr. Dara Singh. He never
Right.
had protein shakes. Look at his physique. He was a vegetarian.
Wow.
Now, I'm not saying you have to be vegetarian or non-vegetarian. I'm not here to preach you. Whatever works for you, man. Okay. I'm not here
Yeah.
to
True. True.
preach any diet. You like meat, you eat meat. You like veg, you eat veg. But do it for, and you don't want to be vegan for the ethical reasons. Don't be vegan just to show off. So
True.
just
Right.
do your thing. Do not put your stuff on people's. Let them eat whatever they want to eat.
To easier way to put this would be please eat your meals from plates, not shakers and Tupperwares. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Right. Okay. So are there any simpler tips that you would like to give to for people to follow good nutrition?
Definitely. But before we come to nutrition, and I know we are short on time, and I would like to still frame it in as short as possible. And we'll soon do
Right.
another live session where we can address a lot of questions because I
For
did
sure.
get a lot of questions in my inbox. But let's just say losing weight is the most easiest thing in the world, people. And I know you would be laughing when I make this statement because most of you have been struggling to lose weight.
Right.
You can lose weight by even eating a pizza. If you eat
Right.
one pizza which fit your macros, let's say for example, you need to have 1500 calories to lose weight. Okay. You can eat a pizza full of 1500 calories every day and still lose weight. So that's not rocket science. The problem is where it's not nutrient dense. You're not getting enough nutrients from that food that you're eating, whether it's a burger, whether it's sweet, and everything like this. So what you need to make sure is every meal of yours has to be nutrient dense. To give an example, uh, a donut would be approximately 250 to 300 calorie. It's easy to eat one donut in probably a minute. But the same
Right.
amount of calories in a vegetable, okay, you'll probably take 15 minutes because it's nutrient dense. It keeps you
True.
full for a longer period of time. Okay, so you need
True.
to choose your food groups better. And also, please understand that weight loss and fat loss are two different things. ओके
Completely.
व्हेन
Yeah.
पीपल से कि मैंने इतना वेट लूज किया, मैं 100 किलो था, अभी मैं 70 किलो है, एंड व्हेन यू सी द पर्सन, स्किन इज सैगिंग, देयर इज नो चार्म लेफ्ट ऑन हिज फेस, okay, the skin has loosened up. If you ask him are you doing any resistance training, he's like what, कोई रेजिस्टेंस, मैं कार्डियो करता हूँ दिन में 3 3 बार चलता हूँ, तो 20 20 हजार स्टेप्स करता हूँ, मैं छाछ डाइट पे हूँ, मैं नो ग्रेन डाइट पे हूँ. Is it possible for you to sustain it for a longer period of time? That's a very wrong way of losing weight. What you should aim and opt for is fat loss. So fat loss is where
True.
you only lose fat. You definitely lose a little bit of muscle, but not as much what you lose in weight. So weight loss is a combination of fat loss plus muscle loss. So
True.
first of all, understand the idea what you want to lose. It's not the weight, because along with weight, you're losing a lot of muscle, which is very difficult to build. Fat loss is
True.
still easy. Building muscle takes real quality food, which is nutrient dense, and it's difficult to build muscle naturally.
Right. And
So
there are a lot of. Oh, okay. So continue. Continue.
yeah, sorry. So coming back to this, a lot of people fail in following a lot of diets is because they do not follow, they are unable to follow it for a longer period of time. Let's come to a basic popular diets. Let's start with something which recently took off for the last couple of years. Everyone have heard about it. It's called keto. Okay, everyone has about keto, or keto is a ketogenic diet. Now, guys, understand just a short 1 minute thing about keto. Keto was known as the Atkins diet. It was
Right.
made by Dr. Atkins. Okay, and he had specially formulated it for kids who had epilepsy seizures.
True.
Okay, so
True.
he realized by experimenting that if you remove a carbohydrate as a macronutrient from the food group and keep them on a high fat and low protein diet, kids stopped having seizures. Okay, that was the whole idea of keto diet. Now we as Indians are jugadus. Okay, the moment people came to know this is the fastest way you can lose fat, people started jumping on the bandwagon. All it needed was a celebrity to do it and a magazine to post it, and everyone started
Right.
following keto. Now keto has to be done for the right reasons. Keto has should not be done as a lifestyle change, because we are in
True.
India. It's a carb rich country. Wherever you go, you'll see carbs. सुबह खारी से लगा के शाम को रोटी तक हमें कार्ब ही कार्ब दिखता है. Protein is
Right.
something that we keep on missing, and we don't see protein very often. That's why you should not follow anything with a name. Now, keto is not magic, people. Now, understand, keto is where you remove carb as a macronutrient. So, only eating a little bit of veggies, fats, and protein. Now, let's go to another diet, which is intermittent fasting. Now, intermittent fasting is not a diet, it's a eating pattern. But why does it work? Is because you shorten the window to eat. So ideal way is
Right.
you fast for at least 12 hours to 23 hours. Okay, there are different names of intermittent fasting. And because you get a smaller window to eat, you are able to lose weight. In keto, because you're not eating carbs, you're losing weight. Okay, and in
Right.
the end, all it comes down to calorie deficit. No matter whichever
True.
diet you follow, if you are not in a calorie deficit, you would not lose weight. Even if
Right.
have a window of 8 hours out of 24 hours to eat, but if you are chomping down food like bakasura, you would not lose weight. The
True.
only benefit that you'll get of that will be autophagy and auto cleansing and probably more GH production. That's it. So no diet is a magical diet. Even intermittent fasting is not magic. It just restricts the window of eating. So do not follow anything with a name. Do make small lifestyle changes. Do not opt for drastic drop of weight. Make small. And also when people say कि अरे 100 calorie से क्या होगा, इतने से रोटी से क्या होगा. But if you look at the compounding interest of things over the months, over the years, this is how you put on weight. I tell people you put on weight 50 calories at a time.
Right.
So you got to be careful. Read your labels. And
You
coming
mentioned a
back to,
very you
yep,
mentioned a
sorry,
very
go ahead.
good point about calorie deficit. I guess that's the most simplest way of understanding how any diet should work. So can you just explain a bit more about calorie deficit?
Calorie deficit of guys, if you want to lose weight, you need to create a deficit. Now, there are different ways of creating a deficit. You can work out for 4 hours, Eat as much as you want, but if you are burning more than you're eating, you're still in a deficit, you lose weight. But you have to understand, is it possible to work out for 4 hours and do that much cardio every day? Isn't it easier to control what's on your plate and just work out for an hour, eat portion control size, and create that deficit? And do remember, you get hungry when you exercise. People have a misconception. They try to exercise to burn off all the calories that they have gulped down or they have cheated to make themselves feel good about it. And they will go on and on with their workouts. You get hungry whenever you work out. This is not the way to lose weight. You exercise to become strong. You do not exercise to lose weight. You would never be able to outperform or outdo a bad diet, no matter how much ever workouts you do.
Right. True.
So
True. Very.
don't eat a donut and say आज मैंने 2 डोनट खाया अभी 500 कैलोरी हो गया अभी 500 कैलोरी मतलब 2 hours का मैं कार्डियो करूंगा and in 2 hours I'll burn them off. That is not how it works. This is
True.
not how the body works. The body is so complex. Scientists and people and doctors are still researching about it. We probably even just know 1% of human body.
True. Very true.
So
All right.
create a calorie deficit by controlling what's on your plate rather than stressing your body too much and working out a lot. Because the moment your body goes under stress, it stops losing weight also. That's also a topic. So not more
True.
than an hour of
Right.
workout.
Yeah, and I guess that's the most simplified way of understanding any diets or new diets. Basically, have a calorie deficit, and that's going to help. No matter what
Definitely.
diet you're doing, there has to be a calorie deficit. Perfect. Moving to the next topic of ours, we want you to basically debunk most common myths related to fitness and nutrition.
Okay. First and foremost, guys, and people from my industry will bash me for this. But as I told you, I am into this field for my passion, not because I had nothing else to do. Okay. I'm a Marwadi. I have studied well. I could have got a good job. I could have joined my father's business, and probably the only Marwadi I know in Pune is into fitness. Personal fitness centers are luxury. You do not need a hi-fi gym. You do not need a trainer to get fit or to transform yourself. Yes, you do hire a coach to enhance your knowledge, to understand certain aspects about how to lift, to get your techniques better, but not forever. The trainer cannot be forever. We probably might be our own celebrity in our friends, but we are not celebrities where we can take our trainers and physios with us all together, okay, and carry them along with us forever. So you need to learn everything. Question your trainers, research if you're joining a gym, everything. So yes, you do not need a gym, do not need a trainer to become fit, first and foremost. Okay, so this is
Right.
one of the, yeah. And second myth is you do not need supplements to become strong. The only thing is you are lazy. Let me be very honest. You are lazy. You do not have the time to go to a grocery store. You do not have the time to outsource your food. You do not have the time to cut your vegetables. But you do have time to keep scrolling your phone all day, all long. So let's not say you do not have time. The thing is, that's what your priority is. Just shift your priorities
Right.
and see your world changing. Third thing, do not trust anything which is popular right away. Okay, try
Right.
to go against the belief a little bit, question yourself, question the popular phenomenon, and you will find your answers.
Right.
Fourth thing, there might be 10 people in the world saying 10 different things, does not mean everyone is wrong or everyone is right. I always tell people fitness is like religion. Okay, you need to find what works for you to reach your goal. You can be a Hindu, you can go to a temple, reach God. You can be a Christian, you can go and pray and reach God. Whatever works for you, whatever does not damage you, whatever does not let you impose your beliefs on others, same whether it's fitness or whether it's religion, and reach God or reach your goal. This is how you go ahead with your journey, because everyone is different, everyone's body is different. You cannot copy paste a diet and use it for the other person, because the hormones are different, the profile is different, the anatomy is different, the posture is different. So what works for one person not necessarily will work for another person. So the best way is to maintain a journal, watch your workouts, write down what you're eating, check your mood, and see how you go forward.
Because you have very perfectly put this. I don't think it can be more simplified than that.
Well,
But
does
before
come
moving
from
forward,
yeah.
let's ask our viewers if you have any questions, start posting them because after this, we're going to take a few questions. Yes.
Definitely. So I think one of
Yeah.
the questions while I was talking to you, I think Deep, physical therapist, he asked about creatine for muscle building.
Yeah.
Deep,
Yes.
I would say apart from whey protein, okay, which I have told you is not a necessity, but you can include it probably if you're not getting enough protein from your diet. Okay. Creatine is the only most researched, and creatine is the only thing which has got the maximum positive reviews from all the scientists that I have read the articles from, or all the popular people I have followed over the years. Creatine is good for building strength. It is available in non-veg diet or in meat diet, and it's missing in vegetarian diet. Okay, but you can take creatine. Also, a lot of people do not promote or post it because it's very cost effective. It's not more than 800 or 1,000 bucks, and a lot of supplement companies do not benefit from it. So it's not being pushed down under the throat of people as compared to protein, that hydrolyzed protein, isolate protein. No. So yes, creatine is the only thing I would recommend apart from whey supplements, and a multivitamin only and only if your lipid profile lacks probably iron or calcium, and only if you cannot get that from real food.
Right. Perfectly
If you
put.
have any questions, if you have got them in your inbox, you can ask me,
Yeah.
and if not, I'll
So
wait.
we had another question. Any tips for ectomorph?
Okay, now there are different body types. Okay, the only
Right.
thing is a lot of people. Okay, let's say whichever body type it is. Okay, the thing is people have very less patience. Okay, to grow.
Right.
If you're a skinny person and you need to grow, you need to train hard at least 3 times a week. Okay, rest proper. Do not train every day. Okay, now let's say if someone has a huge base, huge body, for him probably it will be a mix of cardiovascular combined with functional and weight training. If someone wants to grow their physique, become better, and they are very skinny, they need to lift heavy, eat right, and rest, because gym is not where you build your muscles. Home is where you build your muscle. Kitchen is where you build your muscle. You build your muscle
Right.
by resting. In the gym, you're breaking
Right.
down the muscle. You need to
True.
feed them right to grow.
Perfect. We had another question about D3, vitamin D3, how much it is required as far as from the fitness point of view. We obviously know that D3 is very important in general, but from fitness point of view, what is the
So, Saurabh, there are different answers to this because, as per the RDA recommendation, there is a different limit to D3 that you can consume where they say this is right. And so I leave it at it individually depending upon what your doctor recommend, because my recommendation is way higher than what doctors recommend. Now, I do not say this just by reading it somewhere, because I tried this on my own. So probably doctors would say 2000. For example, let's go to vitamin C. Doctors will say 2000 mg. Okay.
right,
My take on vitamin C is 3000 mg. Okay. It can vary
right,
multiple. And again, it comes down to your lipid profile, how much you are lacking it to take it. But I would tell people one of the prime reasons most of the people are depressed, they are anxious, they have underlying health issues is because they do not take the sun. They are awake till
right,
so late in the night. Probably, I know people who haven't seen the sun probably in years. They
right,
are night crawlers, and by the time they are up and they want to take the sun, it's so hot they can't go out, and they're continuously living in
true,
the AC. So I want people to
right,
get up and take the sun, because sunlight is where the natural vitamin is
products
what you
from,
are going to get it. Yeah, and that's better. Don't use sunglasses. Again, another debated topic. Do not continuously use sunglasses. Your eyes get a false alarm stating it's cloudy outside. Okay,
right,
it needs to feel things. It needs to feel things, and then there are processes in the body which happen. So
right,
try to stay as natural as possible. So that goes on the D3. Again, it comes down to individual choices, what your blood profile is. So doctor would be the right person to say. As a coach, I would analyze, because I do ask for blood work before recommending any micronutrients. I won't
right.
just necessarily say vitamin low, ye low, wo low.
Makes sense. A complete blood work is important so that you
Yes.
exactly know what you're lacking and what you're not.
And a doctor would still be the best approach for this. You cannot
True.
ask coaches about this. You cannot ask me about meniscus tear and all. I might know basic, but you
Yeah,
need to be directed to the physio. So
true.
yeah, there goes Healyos. Yeah.
Yes. We have another question from Neha. What sort of diet would you advocate? Is a multiple meal diet advised to improve metabolism?
So Neha, if someone comes to me and say what kind of diet you will advocate, I would sit down with you and I'll ask you, Neha, what is your lifestyle? How well you
Right,
sleep? Why do you work? Are you a housewife? Can you make more meals? Are you a businesswoman? Do you travel a lot? Depending upon the ease of eating, because that is something that you will stick to more rather than me telling you eat 6 meals. If you can
true,
do well
true.
on 2 meals, I'll tell you, Neha, you know what? 2 meals works best for you. So just have 2 meals. Intermittent fasting works very good. Just follow intermittent fasting. Or if someone enjoys fat more and protein more and does not like carbs, I'll say keto works best for you. So I'll recommend. So again, it then comes down to what people will stick to in the longer run rather than what is popular.
True. Rather than sticking with something which is in a very idealistic situation and you not being able to sustain that lifestyle, it is always better what suits you the best.
Exactly. Don't get fit for one shadi or one cousin ki shadi or one dost ki shadi. Don't do chas diet and GM diet for that. You are just damaging yourself. It's irreversible damage. The older you are and the kind of these diets you follow, it's irreversible damage. You're damaging yourself metabolically. It will take months for you to come back to your original state of health. And we aren't getting any younger. Every day that's
True.
passing by, you're not getting any younger. The only thing you can do is become strong, stay stress free. Now, a lot of people say stay stress free, stay stress free. You cannot stay stress free all the time. You need the right kind of stress to grow. It's the wrong kind of stress that you should not put yourself into. Like in the gym, when
Right.
you go for resistance training, you stress your body to grow. So that's the right kind of stress. We are talking, we are right now discussing.
Thinking,
It's the
yeah,
right kind of
yeah.
stress. This is the kind of
True.
stress you need in your life, not the other way around.
True. Very true. We're getting a couple of questions about how effective is MMA and HIIT.
So whoever asked me this question, I can definitely answer this question because recently I did enroll in MMA because I wanted to push my body and see what is achievable. And I must tell
Right.
you, you have to be really prepared for MMA because even a basic warm up of MMA, you bring down any guy, the fittest guy from your gym, he cannot sustain the warm up of a mixed martial artist. It's that difficult, but it's really enjoyable. You really understand where you're lacking, whether it's your cardiovascular activity, whether it's muscular endurance. But yes, you need to be careful. There's warming up stage because the joints are involved. A lot of kicking is involved. So you need to have a knowledgeable coach, not someone who learned things from the internet and just asking you to box. People
Right.
don't know how
Right.
to punch. It comes from the shoulder, not from the hand. So basics. You need to hire the right coach, follow the right people, implement, practice. This is how it goes. So MMA is very good for people who want to get cardiovascularly fit. Okay. It's definitely a lot of tension on the joints. So you need to be sure that if you are a 40, I'm not saying you cannot do it. You definitely can do it. But then you need to see your limitations and then you need to see why you're doing it. Then you need to see how much time because it's a very demanding sport. And are the injuries worth it? Because if you're not
True. Very
sticking
true.
to the rules, you will get injured a lot. HIIT, again, very good. A lot of gyms. So I would not name, I was one of the core team members of a famous multifunctional gym in Pune, and we had really ramped the gym when before I opted out of the gym and forayed into my own. The concept was very good. You do high functional training in different circuits, but at that time probably I wasn't educated enough. Okay, and I wasn't taking the batches. I was looking more into the sales and marketing part. Is whether you are a 10-year-old kid or whether you are a 50-year-old man, everyone is jumping. There is no posture
True.
analysis. You're doing it, you're having fun, you're meeting people, you're running around in a circuit. Okay, but in the end, I see the same people damaged: low back issues, knee issues, joint issues, neck pain, a lot of issues that people might not even tell you ki ye ho gaya, because everyone will post their success, no one posts their failures on Instagram, and this is where the problem is. We feel everyone is
Right.
succeeding.
True.
You start comparing yourself with it. So this is the problem. You need to make sure that you follow the right program under the right guidance from a certified person or from someone who knows their stuff. So yes,
Okay.
HIIT
So
is
we're
very
just
good.
going to take
Functional
the
is very good.
right. We're going to take the last question. People are asking about what are natural sources for B12 and D3. I
Okay,
got a
there are a
few
lot of
questions.
sources to be. Yeah, to be very honest, I would not be able to name a lot of these because I have not studied the products in details, and there is no harm in saying if I do not know something in very detail. This
Very
is
true.
where Google is. This is a place where Google will not lie, people. Okay, this is a
Yeah.
place where Google will say इसमें vitamin D है or इसमें vitamin B12 है. Yes, there are places where you will get the wrong information when it comes to popular opinions that you follow. So I would say it's better to get it right from the doctor's list or get it from the nutrition's website. And if you want, if you want, I'll individually send you messages with the right list of ingredients because it's a vast
Right.
science. There's everyday research ki इसमें ये है, and celery is a fat loss thing, and इसमें vitamin K, and there are n number of things, and we do not know how much quantity is optimally there in that product. So it's better to choose if it's really available rather than me saying ki, this product has it, see what's available around you and see the quantity, research your own thing and then take it, but not before checking your blood profile. Don't just go and buy stuff.
Right, very true. Perfect. So I guess that's all the questions we had. Thank you so much, Gajendra, for such an insightful session. You've really simplified the fitness and nutrition for all of us. I hope our
One,
viewers and I have also, yeah, please go
Saurabh,
ahead.
there was one thing which we did talk about that I really wanted to put this across, and a lot of people
Yeah.
fail into this is people, when you are on a diet or you want to lose weight, try to keep your carbs maximum towards the night time rather than the
Okay.
daytime. Okay, it's a misconception where people say you should not have carbs in the night. Okay, it comes from across to failed studies and studies which were not complete. In the end, what matters is calorie deficit. So before I close this session and say thank you, Saurabh, make sure if you want to stick to your diet as long as possible, keep your proteins high during the daytime, your proteins and your fats. Shift majority of your carbs towards the night rather than finishing all your carbs in the daytime, because you need your carbs to sleep better. If you, because that's where majorly most of the people fail, because they follow the diet the entire day and the night they go and search their fridge or order from Swiggy and Zomato, and that's where
True.
majority of people fail. Shift
True.
maximum carbs towards the night and you would be able to stick to your diet for as long as possible.
Because sustainability it is important.
Definitely. And do
Okay.
not think that brown rice and white rice, there's not much of a difference. White rice is totally fine. You do not need to spend your hard-earned money in organic stuff until unless you know where your food is sourced from. Look at food from a different way. Look at food like food. Like be conscious, be there while you're eating. Don't be on the phone. Basic stuff. It's not nothing new that I'm saying. It's from your grandfather's grandmother's time. So again, as I
True.
said, it's a luxury. You don't need to hear it from me, but because we have been so busy, so yeah, that's the reason where I have to come in picture. Otherwise, it's only Saurabh that you need because he's a physiotherapist. So that's why.
All right. Thank you so much, Gajendra. It was a very insightful sessions. You have simplified the whole fitness and nutrition things for all our viewers. I would like to request, if you're still not following Helios India, please do follow, and you can also follow Gajendra. He also keeps on putting a lot of interesting stories and interesting stuff and what new things are happening in the world of fitness and nutrition.
So guys, I
Uh,
have two accounts. I will just self-promote myself, not because I want
yeah, for
people
sure.
more.
Why not?
I'll just say you can follow me on Fit India One, numerical one, or Fit underscore Punekar. At the same time, you can follow Saurabh on Peace and Freedom because he posts his amazing stuff about bikes. So if any bike lovers, please go and follow him.
I guess we have scratched each other's back enough now.
All right. Thank you for
All
this
right.
opportunity, Saurabh. It was fun, and
Yes,
I'm sure you're
it was
looking
a
forward
beautiful
for more
session.
fun sessions. And thank
Yes,
you
for
everyone who
sure.
was live here, all the doctors and physiotherapists. And I'm sorry if I've been unable to answer everyone's question here. We are short on time, but we'll see you soon. Thank you very much.
And you can always keep on DMing your questions to us. We can always plan another live session with Gajendra very soon.
Definitely. Thank you. Thank you, Saurabh. Have
All
a
right.
good day.
Thank you so much, Gajendra.
Bye.
Yes. And from next week, last week we have completed our live session series on sports injuries and how to recover from them. Next week we're going to start with our new series. We are going to discuss problems related to elderly or geriatric population. So if your parents fall into that category, or if you fall into that category of geriatric population, do follow us and we'll keep you updated with our sessions that are going to happen, and we're going to come to you with a very informative live sessions about common problems that elderly population faces. So signing out and see you on Wednesday. Thank you so much.